we did some testing. We made this a priority to help you be able to track more comfortably. And so Meg and I, we're doing something that I didn't have you read before, but I'm going to have you just start out reading this aloud.
Okay.
And then I'll add the lenses and see if that makes a change for you.
The little skunk rolled on his back. That was as broad as it was long. I already just know the difference. That was not very broad nor very long. He stretched his short black feet straight up. With the sharp claws on his front feet, he could... Okay.
Usually I would have you continue, but there were so many things that I think you might pick up differently that why don't you reread?
Okay. The little skunk rolled on his back. That was as broad as it was long. That was not very broad nor very long. He stretched his short black feet straight up. With the sharp claws on his front feet, he could dig and scratch in the mellow earth. It's really crazy. It's crazy.
You're reading differently with more efficiency. You haven't missed any words yet this second time.
He liked to catch hard, shiny beetles and crunch them between his tiny jaws. I feel like this is the best paragraph I've ever read out loud in my life.
You're doing a great job.
I've been on here the last 2 days talking a lot about vision, so I want to continue on that path, and I wanted to tell you guys about a patient that I just saw and some of her complaints that to me are very, very much so red flags when it comes to the visual system. So here's what we got. We got somebody who reports dyscalculia, which is difficulty with sequencing when it relates to number and number reversal, reports and difficulty with reading, always losing track of her place in line when she's reading anything, a lot of effort needed for reading, experiencing car sickness and nausea, and even problems on the subway. And this one was a giveaway for me. She frequently spills liquids on herself, especially when she's walking, which her therapist was telling her is ADHD-like behavior and was having her really work on attention. But to me, that maybe she might have ADHD, but that tells me a lot about her visual system. There is a really big crossover with ADHD and visual disturbances. So in my opinion, we have to be, as a movement provider and somebody who works in the sphere of health, hearing that from another therapist is actually very frustrating because this person might actually have a physical limitation that might be the reason they are struggling. And so a lot of people just don't know. So we have to understand and educate. But I did want to mention something that I just looked up the statistic, and it said 80 to 85% of our perceptions are visual. So the visual cortex alone occupies about 50% or more of the brain's cortex. That is how important your visual system is. And just to explain of how dominant the visual system is, the eyes contain as many as 70% of all sensory receptors. So what you are getting input from your visual system and how your brain processes it and how your body utilizes it is going to really make a difference in pain and dysfunction.
That peripheral awareness is the key to your binocularity. Beautifully, beautifully treated with a passive lens therapy, which is what I'm writing here. The passive lens therapy actually rights your head, so it reduces that abnormal head posture. It opens your peripheral field, and it actually, even though it was designed for the near prescription even improves engagement and stereopsis at distance. However, last point we're going to make, we did do a video on gait in